Was there even a point to all of this? Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos where I document my activities for the past week, keep track of my stats, and complete quests in order to achieve my ultimate goal of breaking down the barriers between dreams and reality. The quest for this week, reviewing Physics 1, called for me to go over the notes that I created last semester and to kind of summarize them into smaller, more compact packets, maybe half a page at most in length, in order to kind of get a grasp on all the material I might need for the coming material of Physics 2 that I'm taking right now. How'd things go? Well everyone, the quest for the week of June 17th through June 23rd, reviewing Physics 1, is complete! I wasn't expecting to have to use all of it, but it turned out that my own expectations for how I would need to study and the effectiveness of the tactic I was using have kind of been lost, if I'm being honest here. Because while I did manage to accomplish the thing I set out to do, the main things that I was kind of going off of that motivated me to take up this quest are basically almost all moot points right now. Point number one, the lack of the original textbook has been completely negated. Because, yeah, this is the form that my textbook came in once I ordered it off of Amazon Rentals. Yeah, this gigantic tome you see before you actually has both of the parts of the textbook that I was going to be needing for this semester. So I no longer have to worry about using my notes exclusively as a means of reviewing the first subject of physics, because I now have the actual textbook at my disposition again this semester. The second issue, I was operating under the idea that we were going to be building off of a lot of the material from that first semester, but it seems that for the most part, they're almost kind of separate in a way. It seems that I'm just not going to need all that much from Physics 1 to deal with the amount of stuff we're going to be dealing with Physics 2. It's not none of it, but it's still not exactly all of it either. So it just kind of feels like I might be kind of over hyping up what Physics 2 is actually going to be, although the scheduling issues I'm going to be dealing with as a result of the jam-packed summer session of Physics 2 is another matter entirely. In addition, everyone, the first day of class, we essentially took that period to just kind of review over what would be necessary in Physics 1 anyway. That day one session kind of felt like far greater of a review of the material than I was completing on my own time with that little rewriting of the notes into small paraphrased forms. That isn't to say that the rewriting is completely invalidated. I mean, if redundancy was enough to deter me from studying, this entire beginning of the year with blueprints would have been complete and utter torture with the amount of times I had to rewrite the definition of blueprints in my notes, because Unreal Engine's blueprint documentation feels it very necessary to reiterate it almost all the time. Admittedly, I did kind of need all those reiterations, but that's beside the point. Well then everyone, that just about does it for this week's quest, but it is time for a new quest, and that quest is going to be System Reboot for the week of June 24th through June 30th. My goal for this quest is actually going to be somewhat of a non-goal in a way. Essentially, I'm going to be forcing myself to not directly engage in several of the activities that I usually conduct. You see everyone, right now I have a lot of stuff going on. I have my day job that I have to go to every single weekday, school now taking up approximately 4 hours of 4 days of my week. If we include transportation time, that's actually closer to 5 hours really. In addition, I also have to deal with the Japanese studies, fitness, game development, working on the videos, and it's just a lot of stuff to be just kind of having on the table all at once, and I'm starting to feel that I'm losing a bit of my grip on exactly where everything is at every given moment, and I'm not exactly too comfortable with that. I realized last year what kind of a negative impact overloading can have, so I've decided to take this week to specifically figure out where I am in every single activity and every single subject and just reboot, figure out the groundwork and the foundation, and get back on track on everything. I think that these kind of weeks can be far more important than people give them credit for. And at the very least, I've noticed that they have an enormous impact on my ability to refocus whenever I'm getting lost. So, yep, I'm going to be taking this week specifically to work on that. This may not sound like that difficult of a quest, everyone, but believe it or not, there's a very significant possibility for failure here as well, because quite simply, I'm still in the very midst of trying to deal with the alteration in my time schedule and activities. Even this very video is going to be releasing late as a result of the changes that have occurred and my dealing with them and the lack of adjustment. So, yeah, everyone, we'll find out pretty soon, well, I guess, on a somewhat reasonable timescale as long as nothing goes absolutely nuts, whether or not this quest worked out. But I think that it's probably going to be one of the more important quests for the coming months or weeks, at the very least until I get myself back on track. Because, yeah, I don't really want to go on another several month hiatus here. The goal is one video per week, and I'm kind of already stretching that enough with this delayed video. Although hopefully the next video on VR locomotion will be enough to kind of help assuage things a little bit. Well then everyone, that just about does it for me, but you all also had a quest to be completing, which was name the 2 swords. I gave you all the task of naming the 2 swords that I have replicas of within my bedroom. The swords were Asuna's Lambient Light and Kirito's Elucidator. Anyhow everyone, we only had 8 people successfully complete the quest for this week, so we had 2 leftover slots. It's lamentable that they have 2 extra slots, but that's just how things are going to be. Those slots are going to remain empty, for the record. As I said, you're going to have your names scroll around here on the sides. I am just going to take the little extra step of naming everybody, but again, just Owl, PRNG Ryan, William Morgan, Anthony Polanco, Luix, Arkin Kananunga, Drake Negrete, and Phoenix Fireblazer. Congratulations to you 8 for successfully clearing the quest. With that everyone, let's move on to your community quest for the week of June 24th through June 30th. Personally speaking, I think it'll be fairly simple. Mina no quest wa Hondana Collection 1. Kono hon no taitoru ga nan desu ka? Only 2 winners will be allowed for this quest. Till next time, my fellow adventurers and dreamers. This has been Gregory, logging out.